Hi, everybody. Before we officially start, I just want to remind you all about how to find the area of a rectangle. Now, area of a rectangle is something that some of you might have learned in elementary school. And area of a rectangle is just length times width. But wait a minute, how does that work? How do people know that an area of a rectangle is always going to be length times width? So one of the first examples to look at is this 5 by 5 square. And by the way, a square is just a special type of rectangle. Now, let's think about this a little bit. Now, 5 is called the length. That's why I said 5 equals L, because 5 is our length. And over here, 5 is our width. And that's why I put width equals 5. Okay? Now, if we use this formula right here, length times width, then the area of this green square is 5 times 5 if we use this thing. 5 times 5 is 25. Wait a minute. How do we know for sure that it is always going to be length times width? Okay? And how do we know that it is 5 times 5? Okay? So look at how I cut this square here. Okay, so by the way, 5 times 5 is the same thing as 5 groups of 5. Now, do you see 5 groups of 5 in this drawing? Okay, we'll take a look at this part right here. This right here is one group of 5. This right here is a second group of 5. This is a third group of 5, a fourth group of 5, a fifth group of 5. Okay, 5 groups of 5. Groups always reminds me of multiplication. Okay, so hopefully you do see the 25 in this drawing, and hopefully you do see the 5 groups of 5. Okay, area of a rectangle is always going to be length times width. Which of these expressions is the correct way to show the area of that square you just saw? Is it A, 5 times 5, or B, 5 to the second power? Pause this video right now and think about it, and we'll give you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Actually, both A and B are correct ways to express the area for that green square. All right, everybody. Now let's take a look at a problem. And this problem is a page 7 problem right here, where it says Ty's split room. Sujin's older brother Ty has a room in the new house that is split into 2 sections like on the left. So imagine this as a room. Imagine that there's this one section and a second section right here. Question A, what is an expression that shows the area of the whole floor? Feel free to mark the diagram to show your work. Okay, so we're here talking about area, and we're here looking at a rectangle. And in fact, we're looking at we could look at this as 2 rectangles if we wanted to, or we could just think of it as one big rectangle. Okay, so there's different ways to look for an expression. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to write an expression. Now, what will help you write an expression is to figure out what is the area of the whole floor. Okay, and now we can come up with in fact, we can come up with 2 different ways, at least 2 different ways to write an expression. Okay, so one way to write an expression is to say, hey, I'm gonna do 2 times 3 because here's my length and here's my width. Okay, again, I'm using W for width and I'm using L for length. Okay, so let me take care of this rectangle first, this part right here. Okay, and now let me go ahead and use length times width. So the area of this part right here, is 3 times 2. And I know that 3 times 2 is equal to 6. All right, let me go ahead and change colors real quick here. All right, now, so I already did this part, and now I'm going to take care of this part. Okay, so I need to know what is the area of this rectangle. this bigger rectangle right here. I know this is the length. What's the width? I don't know what the width is. Okay. They don't give a number. So what are we gonna do? Okay. Well, the good news is that in a rectangle, this left side is the same as the right side. Okay. In a rectangle, this right side is the same as the left side. So if this is 2, that means this has to be 2. So now we know what the width is. We know it's 2. We know the length is 4. 4 times 2 is equal to 8. Okay. Now, they're not just talking about like these individual 2 parts. They're asking for the area of the whole floor. So we want the area of the whole thing. Okay. So to find the area of the whole thing, we would have to go ahead and we would have to add 6 plus 8 equals 14. So we know for sure that the area of this whole thing is going to be 14. Okay. So the area of the whole thing is 14. All right. Now we know the area. We know that the area of the whole thing is 14. But the challenge is not writing the area. The challenge is what is an expression that shows the area. Okay. So we can't just say area equals 14. That's not an expression. Okay. Remember, an expression is numbers and operations and sometimes symbols. Okay. So how do we write this expression? Well, let's look back at the process. We started off saying 3 times 2. So we can go ahead and write 3 times 2. And notice I'm using an asterisk to do that. Or I could click over here to type math. You'll see that again, type math. And I could go 3 asterisk 2. See what just happened there? I still typed an asterisk, but it ended up putting that dot right there. Okay, so we started off with 3 times 2. What else did we do? Well, we also did 4 times 2, right? But then what else did we do? Well, we took the 6, we took the 8, and we added it together. We took the 6, which is this, and we added it to the 8. Oh, I can just do that. Okay. So this is one expression. I hope you all can see how this expression matches all the work that we did over here. Okay. You definitely see. So look at it. Here's the 3 times 2. That's what we did. Do you see the 4 times 2? Yep, right here. And do you see how we added the 3 times 2 and the 4 times 2? We're adding the 2 parts together. Adding this part with this part. Okay, that is an expression. By the way, what if I put an equal sign? Am I allowed to do that for an expression? The answer is no. Okay, this is not an expression anymore. This is called an equation. If you were to do this, that's wrong. That's not an expression. That's an equation. Equations have equal signs. So we can't put an equal sign here. We're going to have to leave it like that. Okay. Now, we didn't have to do a second expression, but you might have seen some of your classmates do this. So some of your classmates might have put parentheses also. And so this would be another awesome expression. Okay. So now let's keep on going. And what I actually also want to talk about is what some other classmates may have came up with. Okay, because over here where it says letter C, it says here, can you write one more equivalent expression? By the way, equivalent means equal. So can you write one more equal expression that shows the area? Okay, let's talk about another strategy for doing this problem. All right, keeping in mind that area of a rectangle is always going to be length times width. Okay, so let's talk about another strategy. Now, another strategy that classmates may have come up with is to take this side right here, this 3, and add it with the 4. Okay, taking the 3 and adding it with the 4. Okay? So they're saying that the length is 7. Okay? So all of this together is 7. And then they're going to take that 7 and multiply it with the 2. Okay? So the area of the whole rectangle, by the way, because we're talking about the whole floor, the area of the whole floor is 7, which is our length, times the width, which is our 2, and you get 14. Okay? 14, which is the same answer that we got in the past. Okay? And now the challenge is, how do you take what we just did and turn it to an expression that we can write? And by the way, you would be putting this in letter C and not letter A, but I don't want to scroll, I don't want to scroll down there. But how do we show this? How do we show all of this as an expression? How do we write this as an expression so that there are no equal signs? Because we talked about how expressions don't have equal signs. Well, what was the first thing we did? We added 3 and 4, right? Which we got 7. Okay. And then what did we do with the 3 and 4? Or what did we do with the 7? Well, we multiplied it by 2. Okay. Now, can I just do this? Hold on. Can I just do this? Like, is this a good enough expression? Is that okay? So this is where we have to be careful, okay? If I write it like this, remember order of operations? Okay. Order of operations is something that we just learned this week. Now, order of operations says, do the multiplication for it first. Do the 2 times 4 first, okay? But did we only multiply 4 times 2? Did we do 4 times 2? Like, go back here. Do you see anywhere here where we did 4 times 2? No. Okay. In fact, we multiplied 2 times 7. We did 7 times 2. So this is a wrong expression. So how can we show that we're multiplying the 7 by 2? Well, wait a minute. The 7 times 2. Here you go. Okay. These parentheses is what you need to force somebody to do 7 times 2. You're gonna need the parentheses, okay? So that is how you would write another expression for this problem, okay? I would say for letter B is if you can show with pictures how to do letter B, then you don't need to type in this box because it says here show or explain. So if you can just show it here visually, you don't need to type anything. All right. And then page 8, you'll notice that the picture for page 8 relates to page 7. Okay. And here you're just using colors, arrows, and labels or words to show how they match. Page 9. Page 9 is a little sorting activity. Okay. And so you're taking these expressions like letter A and you're matching it with the drawings. Okay. I hope you all can see why letter A matches with this drawing. Okay. Hopefully y'all can see that. And so your job is to try to figure out the rest on here. Okay. Good luck with that. This is really all you have to do for, if you're doing this assignment, you're just having to do pages 7, 8, and 9. All right. Good luck. Take care.